these are some nice digs. Spare room there, I guess, for a guest. Laundry room. Nice feature. This is like one of the best apartments I've seen in the game. Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to Let's Play Starfield. I'm 7foot Dust Bunny, and today we're starting off by handing in our quest regarding terramorphs. Hopefully we're out of here, this hellhole. We need to speak to Percival here, and we're freezing our balls off, so let's get on with it. Percival.
Look at all of you, back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there, but it sounded like this was a success. Got everything we need to put this plan in motion.
Actually, it went surprisingly smoothly. I'm kind of concerned that there's something wrong with Kaiser, but we'll find out. I mean, is the plan still going to be to clean up heat leeches and terramorphs now?
Can't be positive until we run some tests. But knowing that the terramorphs have been masquerading as heat leeches all this time is a big find. Arguably makes things more feasible, now that we know what we're dealing with, not less.
Agreed. Plus, I don't think you're gonna have to push real hard to get folks on board with cleaning up one of the galaxy's greatest pests if this is what they're capable of.
But none of that's getting done without the samples. You do have them, right?
Kaiser should have them. So hopefully.
Ah, best place for them. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Victus knew about this damn plant?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond.
It's a bit more complicated than that.
Ain't it just? I mean, we're coming clean on all this. I think the UC should come clean on this. So, actually, we can't rule him out. He lives in Matt's basement.
I'm sorry, what? He's pulling my leg, right? Adrian?
No, I don't believe he is.
So that means we have a suspect.
I believe that's exactly what that means. Look, Captain. Percival and we need to get these samples back to the lab. Ensure we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. But Victus is the only solid lead we've got on the attacks. Since you're the only one who knows where he is, can you speak to him? See if you can get him to cough up anything he might know.
Oh yeah, me and him are certainly gonna have words. But he is not exactly a trustworthy source.
Whatever you can turn up is more than we have now. We'll all meet back at Mast, outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to know everything we've uncovered here. Best of luck, Captain. And thank you for dealing with him.
I didn't have a...
Finding mission.
Cheers. Yeah, I can't say I'm looking forward to this, especially since I was sworn to secrecy and have basically just blurted it out. But, you know, I hate to say it, I do not agree with it, and screw what the UC say. If they want to make me pay for this, then we'll see what the outcome may be. But I guess, back to Mass. Okay, so, I managed to pick up a UC bounty while I was out on that mission. So I had to nip by my outpost and get rid of that. And of course get rid of the contraband I had with me. So we're now all sorted. Fixed myself up medically as well. And I guess now we go and speak to our man underground and see what he's got to say for himself. Oh, vey, have thou been a naughty boy? We must talk.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for?
Oh yeah, we found lots.
Good news then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terramorphs, no?
Oh yeah. And the guy who set up the attacks. I'm not going to go off the rails. I'm going to be more sort of reserved than that. And I'm just going to say, we found a recording of you discussing the Terramorph's use as a weapon.
Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us.
Uh-huh. I think not. So, are you claiming you don't know anything about the attacks?
Of course. Do I look like I'm in any position to do what you're describing? So I'd very much appreciate your agreement to not share what you found. We wouldn't want anyone else jumping to conclusions now, would we?
No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell the cabinet what I found. So consider changing your stance and coming clean, my man.
You know, you're far more clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing.
No, I don't think it's because you're a madman and a murderer. You are. But I don't think that's your reasoning. No, I think... Associate, yeah. Who's your associate? Is that Dr. Orlays?
All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble?
Oh yeah, you're trying to get yourself back in the good books with the UC. Possibly Hadrian too, for that end.
You couldn't be more right. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential.
I don't know. You say you're sealing away the secrets of the plant's potential, but no, I disagree. You can't just condemn hundreds of people to keep that a secret.
Easy to say now, but at the time, I didn't know the Lazarus plant couldn't be plucked from the ground and used to cause even more death. I wasn't going to allow another dangerous variable to be added to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
I thought as much. Yeah. So, how did you manage to coordinate it all from here?
It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can not to deal with you. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient, dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. All without the UC realizing whom they were actually dealing with. Slow work. But as you can see, ultimately effective.
Yeah, I'm not denying you're a smart man. And, I mean, I know why you care if the UC wants you as an advisor. You want to live here in warmth and comfort. No, and hopefully get out. Is that not correct?
Why would I want to be in the good graces of the people who control my very life? I don't know, Captain.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I still dream of a life outside these walls someday. A new face would be needed, of course, but it wasn't an impossibility. Though now, I'm not so sure.
So, I was just your cleanup crew. You must think you're pretty smart, huh?
Captain, please. You've benefited here as much as I have. Maybe more. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday.
I mean, to be honest, we would have worked on this anyway without you, and I was very suspicious that Kaiser had been programmed, so they'd be honoring me for cleaning up your messes.
You're being honored only because I arranged the situations where it could happen. Be grateful. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together.
Oh, my man, your plan was awful. And you are coming out with some enormous amount of bollocks right here. So your plan was to create Terramorph attacks, get me or somebody and Hadrian to go and fix it, and lead them right to like the Lazarus plant which does it. And in this, your panic for killing all those people in the first place was the release of the Lazarus plant and people, not the UC, using Xenos, which the UC are the ones using Xenos, by the way, you know, and then, in doing so, you've actually synthesized the Lazarus plant pollen to create this, not taken it from Londinium. You've synthesized it, so you've actually unleashed greater danger. Your plan is bloody terrible, and you expected us not to put all this together, that you were involved. You sick F. Now, can we just get on and execute you? I'm going to tell the cabinet to pop you off, my man.
That is a pity, Captain. But I'm in no position to negotiate. Though we needn't be enemies, you and I. Just think about the opportunity I've provided here. There are more on the horizon. If you do the right thing.
Oh, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to do the right thing and put a bullet through your skull, my man. Right, okay. We have to go and speak to Hadrian, which is going to be very interesting. Because, you know, she's going to be highly impressed, I reckon, that this guy thinks he's done it all for her. And possibly me. So, have I got a story to tell you?
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant?
Oh yeah, he basically knew everything, confessed to organising the attacks, said it was for your good, and his good, and my good.
I knew it. The second I heard that recording, I knew. Why? Did he say why he did it?
Oh, you're gonna love this. I'm not sure whether I should not tell her, but I gotta tell her. Yeah, he said it was basically to fix the damage done to the Sinon name and make us all into heroes.
It takes some deeply twisted logic to think anything did more harm to the Sinon name than him. Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything like this ever again.
Yeah, I gotta say, he deserves what he's got coming to him. I mean, yeah, look. I'm gonna tell her he asked and see what she says. Because he did ask, but I am not keen to save him.
I'm sure he did. But he killed dozens of people. And I'm not about to let him get away with something like that. So I guess that gives us our final answer. Nothing left to do but head in and see what the cabinet thinks of it all. Unless there was more to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the terramorphs.
Right. Which method are you guys dealing with or leaning towards these days? I mean, I'm still with the acyles, I gotta be honest.
Microbe is going to make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math, and a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in, see if they have a preference.
So both approaches are effective against getting rid of heat leeches. Plus we can shoot heat leeches. Look, it's a lot easier to shoot them before they turn into terramorphs.
They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the acyles seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch them. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti.
I like it. Okay, nothing else on my mind. Let's go. We've already discussed the risks of bringing back the acyles. Yeah, what do you think the cabinet will say about, our buddy downstairs?
It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC citizens, along with everything else he's done, is unforgivable. But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might be willing to spare him.
Oh, I'm not going to be requesting that. Don't you worry. Okay, I'm done here.
And here we go.
I think Percival seems to be lost, so we're just going to get on with this.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
To the best of my knowledge, yep, it was deliberate.
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays?
Orlays did help, but he was working for Victus, who you have in the basement.
It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself. My father figured out how to use terramorphs as weapons.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was going to end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation you're leveling, considering Francois Sinon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
You are some naive. And yes, I do.
It just transformed. A terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this, and said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Victus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately.
Realizing your mistakes is the first step towards fixing them. No, he needs to go. Look, the world is better off without him. Do what you should have done.
I'm inclined to agree, Captain. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the 3 of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the Cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the Cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Actually, I have a slight disagreement here, and I'm going to make some controversial decisions right here. So, you're saying it'll be classified. I believe the other factions should be involved in securing it. And I believe everyone should be in on this as a show of good faith. He's already said that he synthesized the pollen, so that's a problem that's already out there. Keeping the Lazarus plant secure is not the only answer. Destroying it is not the answer either.
These are topics of the
Freestar
utmost
Collective.
importance. Take
Wow.
your time.
So they have another tool to utilize against us?
I'm in agreement. I fail to see the value here.
Are you people idiots? It would demonstrate to the collective that the UC isn't planning to secretly use this down the line. It would show willingness to go back and honorably discuss things you've the mistakes of your past. Admit your issues.
That is an interesting idea. A grand gesture to further display this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
So, you want us to make nice with the collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the collective involved in the management. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the Captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
Look, I'm a man of science, and I believe in science, but at the same time, Hadrian tells me the risk of the microbe going rogue is like 1 in a million. Even 1 in 10 million is too high. It's just, I'm sorry, microbes multiply by the hundreds of millions. So 1 in 10 million is just not good. So, I'm sorry, I gotta go with the Aseles.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the Captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day 1 for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you 3 the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
And thank you. What's a Class 1 citizen?
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive.
Ooh, I get a free house? Sweet, I'm in.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you 2 are willing to continue your efforts spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Man, that is gonna rub in his face. I'll be a Class 1 citizen, and I've only been in the Vanguard like a few weeks. So much for his 10 years. I mean, I think they need to show their honourable gesture here and actually get the
whole of the settled systems
and get the Freestar involved in the whole shebang, to be honest, because it would just be a display of honourable intentions. However, I will go somewhat out of character now. First thing, we'll just speak to Twal a second. Hello, my good man.
Well, well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain.
Thank you. It's an honor.
No need to thank me. You brought this all on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access.
12k credits? Me? That's very generous. Thank you very much. I'd rather drink engine oil than live in New Atlantis. No. Where's the office?
Just out the front door and across the plaza, by the embassies. Look for the Aphelion sign.
Okay, I'll have a look. Thanks, my man.
Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you?
Yeah, I'd like to run a Vanguard mission, because I'll be honest, yeah, I've only really ever done the one, my man.
Suppose that's true. Well, we can remedy that right now. Here we go. Report says ships at these coordinates fired on United Colony's craft. You're cleared to use lethal force if necessary. Sounds like pirates this time, but I'd suggest you be prepared for anything. Fly smart out there.
Okie dokie. So, yeah, out of character. Here we go. The decisions I have just made. I happen to know that they will meet with much disapproval from the people in the lodge. But tough. It's what I believe my character would make. Okay, so I had a bit of a kip till the morning, and then I think we're going to go and check out our penthouse, because, well, I want to see what this place is like. I mean, a penthouse. An actual penthouse.
Well, if it isn't the United Colony's newest Class 1 citizen, you've made quite a name for yourself in New Atlantis. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the nicest pieces of real estate in the city. It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location in New Atlantis, in my professional opinion. What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered as the owner.
Does anybody actually say no?
Great! You're in for a real treat. It's one of my favorite apartments in the city. Okay, you're all set. Your new home's located in Mercury Tower in the residential district. You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous floor plan and an unbeatable view of the city. Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around town.
Okay, we have the key. And commercial district that way, residential district that way. So let's head off and do a bit of property perusal.
I've met so many interesting people.
Okay, so this is Mercury Tower. I mean, at least the entrance looks swanky, so that's good.
Definitely better than the last interceptor.
Okay, right. Oh, we just hit the button and it takes us right there. It knows who we are. Oh my god. Someone has left the fire extinguisher on the floor. This is unacceptable. Ooh. You know, this place is nice. Vasco, don't scratch the floor. It's brand new. Wow, this place is nice. Oh, so is this like the bedroom? Or wow, double sink. That's quite a major bathroom. That's quite a bedroom. Are these like cabinets? Well, okay, so I wouldn't want to put the bed there. I was thinking to put the bed up against the feature wall, because you shouldn't have your feet going out the window. It's feng shui, my man. Feng shui. Holy crap. There's my ship down there. This is quite the place. And we literally are at the top. Wow. These are some nice digs. Spare room there, I guess. For a guest. Laundry room. Nice feature. This is like one of the best apartments I've seen in the game. Office, I'm going to call that. Box room. And this is like lounge entertainment area. With another nice balcony right here. Looking out over into the distance. I mean, yeah, this is probably one of the nicest apartments I've seen in the game. Like, the place I bought in Freestar was a bit of a hovel by comparison. This place is nice, Vasco. This place is nice. Where the hell do I go to actually modify the place then? Ah, right here. So here is where I can decorate and build, and you know, I don't think I'm going to be sticking industrial workbenches in here. Maybe I'd stick a suit bench in the office or something, you know. So I can modify my spacesuits and stuff, but I think I'll keep doing that in the lodge for now. Because, you know, this place is more like a pad, and I'm guessing this is like a walk-in freezer. Anywho, yes, that is the absolute joy that is the free apartment you get for completing this quest. Which is, as I say, in my opinion, possibly one of the best in the entire game. So, that place rocks. I just need to spend some time decorating it now. So now we really need to decide what is next on the docket. I mean, I had a notice Vanguard needs... Vanguard? Barrett wants to talk to me. We need to go to Indum 2. We need to possibly check out another temple. Which I'm thinking now it's time to get back on with some of these. And, yes. One last job to do in today's episode. And I realise today's episode has been a bit of a talky episode. But I'm planning some action episode next episode, hopefully. So, yeah, one more thing to do, which several people have pointed out to me to do.
I'm sorry, heat leeches can turn into what?
Terramorphs. Giant carapace-encrusted tanks. Hence the new scanning protocols. On our watch, no heat leech enters this city. Understood?
Understood.
Alright. Let's get at it then.
Yeah, I'm serious, guys. I've seen it happen. So, what we're here for is one thing that a couple people have reminded me, and I am going to do it, even though
no problem.
I think I want to change ship down the road, but the one task I need to look at is going into the shipbuilder, and I should now have access to, he says, yes, that's it, the Jolly Vanguard auto projector. Now, this is a Class A weapon that only uses 2 max power, but has quite a fire rate and does quite a decent bit of damage. And this will be better than what we had by quite a margin. We had, I think, why do you keep zooming me in, which is quite annoying. We had these on there, and these do 20 damage, but they only fire 2.5 times a second, and they take 3 power. Whereas these do 11, but they fire 6.6 times a second. So even if they fired 2.5 or was it 5 times a second, they would still do more damage. And they cost less to power. So I can have more of these, because they cost 3 to power. If I have a full bar of these, I'm going to have 2, he says. Let's add this on the flight check so we can keep tabs on it. That's 2. And then we'll put another one there. And another one on the other side. And now we can even fit 2 more, which is going to be expensive. It's going to be hitting into my it's not going to fit. I need to find somewhere to put it. I might end up getting rid of these windows. Okay, so there we are, done. Voila. We now have 6 Vanguard auto projectors on here. This is going to set me back and hit the credits a bit again. But, you know, so be it. This will mean we can put out quite a bit of damage. So that should be okay. So let's accept that change. Yep. And there we go. And job's a good one. Now, in terms of the skill point we have, very tempted to put it into Starship Design, would be handy, but I'm not going to. I'm going to put it into Spacesuit Design. And I'm going to head back to the lodge, last thing, and do some upgrades to weapons and spacesuit, because I'm loving my new spacesuit. So we'll have that ready for next episode, because I suspect most of you are not going to want to watch me just modify weapons and stuff. I will do a quick run through of what I did at the beginning of the next episode. But in the meantime, I'll say thank you very much for watching, like and subscribe as always, and join us again next time. Thanks a lot.